That may be the greatest catch I've ever seen in my life.
Okay guys, ever since I made the announcement that we're going to try to make every single video going forward from that video suggestions tab that we have on Patreon, y'all have been absolutely blowing it up, saying make a video on this, make a video on this, make a video on this, and I'm going to continue to make one video a day, so I'm sorry, but I'm not going to be able to get to every single one of those suggestions, but I'm going to be trying to get to as many as possible. And this one, I know it looks like I'm playing favorites. We're going to be choosing another video suggestion from Baskin. I'm sorry guys, he is just so active over there on the Patreon chat, and I really like this suggestion where he came through and he was pretty much asking us, what assets should we be trading for in Dynasty right now? Should we be going after picks, running backs, wide receivers? What should we be doing? And specifically, I'm going to break this down position by position and talk about what asset type that we want to be trading for within that position. But of course, I want to put the disclaimer out here. I know that a lot of the times I come out and I speak as if I know everything, which is not the case. Now, I think that Dynasty Fantasy Football is the one thing that I am not significantly better at, but definitely a lot better at than the majority of people. But I acknowledge the fact that these videos getting 2,000-3,000 views, there's probably more than one person watching this video that knows more than I do. There's probably a decent amount of people that do. So of course, if I say something you don't agree with, I like it when y'all go down to the comment section. I like it when you say, Mason, you're an idiot, you're wrong about this, because maybe there's someone else watching the video that thinks that same thing, will go to the comment section and goes, okay, I'm not alone, while everybody else is just echoing whatever I'm saying because I'm the clown on the screen. Please be more than willing to stand up in the comment section and tell me I'm stupid, because very often I am. But anyway, let's get into this video. And first thing I want to talk about is I want to talk about trading for picks. Okay, so I will give a little bit of context when this video is being made. It's being made about a month before the NFL draft. And this specific piece of advice is definitely going to be applicable before the NFL draft. And that's, of course, you want to be trading for 2021 NFL draft picks. That is pretty much all I've been doing over the past month in those Patreon formats. I've been going through saying, hey, I will overpay for the 107 right now. Because in a Superflex league, you do the math and you go, the 107, the 108, these are going to be elite level prospects. There are 4 elite level quarterbacks coming into this rookie class, so that is going to be pushing down Travis Etienne, Najee Harris, Jamar Chase, Kyle Pitts. These guys are going to be lasting a lot further than a lot of people want to expect. And because you have that top-end talent at the quarterback position, especially with Mac Jones rising up draft boards right now, even in the early second, mid-second, you're going to be finding quality options. You're going to be able to draft someone like Elijah Moore in the mid-second, which is absolutely ridiculous for a rookie wide receiver coming in with 150 yards per game out of the SEC at 21 years old that runs a sub 4.4. Now, that is crazy. So, of course, it's obvious. Everybody's trying to do it right now. You want to be trading for these rookie picks. Now, I will say, because everybody's trying to do it, it is going to be hard. And if you're not able to in your league, which is probably pretty likely because those guys that have those rookie picks, they are not going to be willing to give them away for free. I promise you, if you approach me in a flock league saying, Mason, will you trade away that rookie pick 110? The majority of the time, I'm saying no, get out of here. Send an offer where you're going to be drastically overpaying, or we're not even going to be talking about this. So I'm sure a lot of y'all are experiencing that same thing in your own Dynasty leagues. So we made a video about this about a month ago, but I want to reiterate, I think the safest asset that you can trade for right now in Dynasty is actually going to be 2022 picks. Now, hear me out. I know that we did make some videos overlying this class. If you want to see those videos, if you want to see me talking about these 2022 prospects coming in, literally just go to the YouTube search bar, look up Fantasy Flock 2022, and I'm sure they're going to be the first options. But anyway, without talking about the specific players, let's talk about why I think that these picks are extremely safe to invest into. And that is, A, you're looking at these picks being players that are going to have nothing impacting them over the next 3 months. So whereas if you're investing in a T. Higgins right now, we understand there's some downside there. What happens if the Bengals decide to go with a Kyle Pitts or Jamar Chase with that 5th overall pick, you're going to see a dip. If you're investing into just say a Myles Gaskin, what happens when you see the Miami Dolphins take Travis Etienne in the 1st round? You're going to see that dip. And so on and so on and so on. You can talk about with these veteran players every single year. There's a surprise going, crap, I did not expect that team to go with this position. I thought that this player was safe, and it turns out he's not. The most recent example of this is investing into Josh Jacobs. If you would have asked me before NFL free agency, hey, do you think Josh Jacobs is a decent buy low? I would have been looking at the situation going, you know what? I never really liked the player, but we can all sit back and we can understand that he got the 1st round NFL draft capital. He's attached to that rookie contract. The team wants him to be a 3-down running back. Yeah, he's a safe asset. You can go and buy him. But we see Kenyon Drake coming in, and you see that value cratering. With these 2022 rookie draft picks, that is simply not possible. But more importantly, what I want to talk about is just the psychology of what we are going to see after the NFL draft, more specifically after your own rookie draft with these 2022 draft picks. Now, regardless of if you play on MFL, regardless of if you play on Sleeper, what you're going to be finding is you're going to be finding when you go to make a trade with your trade partner, when your trade partner goes to make a trade with you, while those 2022 draft picks are so far down the screen right now, and they're behind about 5 2021 picks, it looks like they are so far away. But we understand once you have that 2021 rookie draft, and I know this sounds stupid, it sounds obvious, but just literally think about it. Think about the change in psychology. Those picks are going to be the most recent, the closest rookie picks that you can trade for. So if you have any rebuilding team in your league, I'm not even saying that you're a rebuilder, say that you're a contender and you're going, you know what? Should I trade Derrick Henry for 2 2022 first-round picks? Right now, they're not that valuable, but what happens when you trade for those picks? Then you have your 2021 rookie draft, and then a couple other teams in the league go, you know what? 2021 isn't my year. Let me trade for picks. Let me reassess in 2022 and try to accumulate value for that season. They're going to go around the league and they're going to go, who has draft picks? Who has the closest draft picks that I can use? And those are going to be the 2022 picks. So I know this sounds obvious, but please understand, as soon as you have your 2021 rookie draft, those 2022 picks, because they are then the closest picks that you can trade for, they are guaranteed to see a value bump up from any rebuilding team in your Dynasty League. Okay, so now let's stop talking about picks. I will say that, yeah, we're trying to trade for those 2021, but it's going to be hard. Go after the 2022. Let's talk about some running backs now. And we don't want to spend too much time talking about this because it's extremely obvious. If you've been playing Dynasty for a while, you know this. What you want to be doing here is you just want to be going after running backs that have guaranteed contracts 2 to 3 years out. So I know I talk about all the time this simple rule of trading for running backs on their rookie deals. This is why we're prioritizing Saquon Barkley, DeAndre Swift, Cam Akers, Clyde Edwards-Helaire. These guys that you know they're going to have a starting role for the next 3 to 4 years just because their contract dictates it. But also, you can expand this. Now, I always talk about avoiding running backs once they hit their second NFL contract because historically, that's where you see a sharp fall off. And we know that the NFL, they don't care about their players. They care about making money. This is what we're talking about with the Deshaun Watson situation. So as soon as you see those fall-offs for the running back like Todd Gurley, the running back like Le'Veon Bell, the running back like David Johnson, and I hate to use these examples, but they're the best examples we can because they're the most recent of 3 running backs that were at the top of the game. At one point, for a couple of years, it was consensus that Le'Veon Bell, David Johnson, and Todd Gurley were the best running backs in the NFL. And then you see them get their second contracts, and one by one, you see that value plummet. And you can point out the fact, Mason, Le'Veon Bell, off-the-field concerns, Mason, David Johnson, injuries, Mason, Todd Gurley, arthritis in the knee. But these things come along with being a running back. These things come along with getting hit by 300-pound defensive linemen over and over and over and over again. So we're going to tend to avoid these running backs once they get on their second contracts. Now, if you've been playing Dynasty for a while and you're kind of confident in your abilities, then you can go through and you can dive into the details of the contract. And this is what we talk about on Patreon all the time, and it gets very annoying But don't just be looking at, oh, he signed through 2023. He's going to be a starting running back until then. That means nothing. These NFL contracts, they're all fake. What you have to look at is you have to look at the guaranteed money. It's extremely easy to do. This is why a running back like Derrick Henry, who's 27 years old, that only has guaranteed money in 2021 and then nothing in 2022. This is why we're avoiding that situation. Whereas Ezekiel Elliott, maybe you saw the fall off last year where you didn't see it with Derrick Henry, but Zeke's contract dictates that he's going to be the starting running back for the Dallas Cowboys for the next few years. So you see the two differences in the two running backs, even if we have a little bit of groupthink going on, even if everybody in the Dynasty community wants to tell you that one is a long-term asset and the other one isn't. What you need to be doing is you need to be going yourself and looking at the running backs in their contract situations and determining what teams have the investment into the running backs where their starting running back is actually going to be worth the Dynasty price. Okay, so now let's go over to the wide receivers. And I know at the running back position, we talk about age, we talk about contract, we talk about all of that. The wide receivers, it's going to be different. I want to invest into wide receivers with talent. Now, wide receivers with talent, you can define this a couple different ways. You can define this by a player that had an elite prospect profile coming in, that hit marks his rookie year that indicate that he should be a difference-making wide receiver for the next 5 years at the very minimum. You could fall a guy like CeeDee Lamb into that bucket. You could also throw in A.J. Brown, DJ Moore, I mean, those type of wide receivers. But the difference between investing into a wide receiver at this time of the year and investing into a running back is that at the wide receiver position, I don't care too much about age. I mean, players like Mike Evans, Amari Cooper, Stephon Diggs, even Calvin Ridley to a certain extent, these guys that have been productive for a very long time that Dynasty owners are starting to get a little bit tired of, I'm fine investing into those players because if they had the elite profile coming in, what you find is that these guys will stick around on an NFL roster for a very long time because the wide receiver position and the running back position, two completely different ways that you can win at the football level. We know that at the wide receiver position, you can win at the catch point. You can win by creating separation. You can win by just your crisp route running, literally anything to do to make sure that you can just come down with that target. Where at the running back position, what you need is you need athleticism. You need the juice. The wide receiver position, maybe you can make the argument like a T.Y. Hilton, someone that's a traditional field stretcher. Yeah, they need that athleticism. But we've seen Larry Fitzgerald. We've seen these veteran wide receivers that once their athleticism is gone, they can still stick it around with a role on their team. Because another thing that you want to look at between the two positions is the fact that at the wide receiver position, you have at the very minimum, pretty much in today's NFL, 3 wide receivers on the field at all times. So even if, just say 4 years from now, when Amari Cooper is closing in on age 30, he no longer has the talent to then be a wide receiver 1 on an NFL team, well, I guess he's now a wide receiver 2 on an NFL team for the next 2 years. Then maybe he takes another step back. Maybe he's then a wide receiver 3 on an NFL team. But by then you've had so much production from him, it doesn't really matter. So please just understand the supply and the demand at the wide receiver position compared to the running back position, where with these running backs, the NFL will churn through them very quickly because there's only one starting running back spot for every NFL team, where there's about 3 starting wide receiver spots for every NFL team. So the guys that have the talent, it doesn't matter if their athleticism goes away. We see that they can stick around in the NFL a lot longer. Okay, so I know this video really wasn't detailed and mapped out. I was kind of just rambling. So, of course, if this wasn't helpful for you, let me know, and I won't do something like this in the future. But if you feel like you got anything from this video, even if it's just one piece of advice that you think is useful, then that means the video is worth it. That means I did my job. So please let me know regardless. Should I be making videos like this going forward? Would you or would you rather me prioritize talking about players? But yeah, that's all I got for y'all. Really hope y'all enjoyed it, and I hope I'll see y'all with the premiere tomorrow.